welcome back. Once again, my name is Ranger BREENA, and this week we are going to be talking all about our farm friends, and also things that you can do right here around the front of the Willow Grove Nature Center. So I wanted to introduce you to one of my good friends, Webster the duck, and we are about to get the morning started. Let's go. Good morning, chickens. We have a lot of them.
Did you know that Cromwell Valley Park is made up of 3 large properties which used to be farms? One of these farms was owned by the Merrick family. Part of their farmhouse and barn date back to the mid-1800s. The renovated farmhouse is now the Willow Grove Nature Center. Here we are at the Eck Farmhouse. Today this farm is the site of Talmar, a horticultural therapy center. You can learn more about their organization at talmar.org. The farm in the center of the park was owned by the Sherwood family. Today their house serves as Cromwell Valley Park's main office. In the 1930s and 40s, the Sherwood farm had large gardens, an orchard, and some livestock. Back then, they kept an abundance of chickens on the farm, just as we do today.
So our chickens are located right outside of the Nature Center. They're literally in the front yard. And we have a lot of different breeds of chickens. This is just one of them. It's called a Brahma chicken. And what makes it unique are the feathers on its feet. So in total, we have 5 of this type of chicken. But this is our oldest hen right here. I think she's at least 5 years old, if not maybe another year. We have also 4 baby Brahmas that are gray, so you can try to pick them out when you come here. Again, they all have feathers on their feet. If you're interested in the other breeds we have, take a look at the front of our fence here. You can see some of them in the background. There are signs all along it, and they'll tell you about each chicken. Try to match them and see if you can find each breed.
Also look for a pair of mallard ducks. You met Webster, the male duck, at the beginning. Even though you couldn't see Quacky, our female duck, you could definitely hear her in that first clip. She's smaller and brown. They take a bath every single morning. Watch how the water just beads off Webster's back. Ducks have something called a preen gland located near their tails, which produces an oil. The duck will use its bill to rub the gland and then spread the oil all over its feathers. This creates a waterproofing effect. Pretty cool.
So every morning we feed our chickens a whole big bowl of fortified crumble, and it's got some corn in there and everything, and they really love it. But something else they like is leftover greens from the Nature Center kitchen. So I'm going to spread some of those around. That's something you can do if you happen to know that you're going to be visiting the chickens and you have some extra salad greens at home that you're not going to use. Feel free to bring them in. So be sure to check out one of the PDFs that I think it's Feed Our Feather Friends, and it will tell you all the different things that they like to eat and can eat, and the other things that you should avoid. Here you go, chickies. Here you go. No. There you go. All right, so now I think I'm going to save some for the turkeys. We have a little bit left. Good morning, turkeys. Let's see if they'll come out. Alright, so if you're at the turkey enclosure and you turn around, you will see another enclosure just a little ways up the hill, and that is the possum enclosure. There he is. There's my good friend, the Grinch. This is Grinchy the possum, and he got that name because we got him around Christmas. He is a non-releasable possum, and in order to have him, we have a permit with DNR. So Possums do not make good pets. The reason why we have him is, like I said, because he's not releasable. He can't go back to the wild. But he would certainly be an animal that you find on the farm. So why don't we ever see possums out and about? It's because they are nocturnal. That means they come out at night. And this guy is no exception. I've kind of woken him up here, but I'm going to give him a little bit of lunch and then leave the rest for his dinner. So what is he having today? Let's take a look. Grinchy is an omnivore, which means he eats a little bit of everything. And as you can see here, that's what I've given him. Gets a little cat food for protein. Sometimes we give him chicken or venison if we have it. There's some egg. So if you're wondering where the chicken eggs go to, staff and volunteers bring them home. Or sometimes we cook them and we give them to the possum. He loves them. Got avocado, one of his favorite, one of the few green things he'll actually eat. We have bananas under here and some cherries thrown on top. So let's see if he'll eat something. There you go, Grinch. Will you eat it out of your dish? Oh, yeah. Always the avocados. Like I said, one of his absolute favorites. So in nature, this would mean he would eat all sorts of insects and bugs. He might eat small animals, mice, chipmunks, maybe birds. He might get into a nest and eat eggs out of a nest. Earthworms, something you might eat. A little bit of everything, like I said. This is also an animal that you might find in your trash cans for that reason. Just digging about, very opportunistic, will eat what it can get its paws on. So the possum is a marsupial, which means the females have a pouch that they would keep their babies in order to have them grow. And it has a long tail that's very strong. You might be able to see a little bit back there that it can use to hold on to things with, sort of like an arm. On its back feet, it also has opposable thumbs. And it's just another way that it can help grab onto tree branches, and that's where you would find these, is in trees. They're pretty defenseless on the ground. Even though they have a full mouth of teeth, they have 50 teeth, and they'll hiss and put up a fuss if you get really close to them. And it's best not to get close to them. It is possible for them to bite you with that 50 teeth. As a last resort, a possum may play possum or play dead, in the hopes that a predator that's going after it will lose interest and possibly be confused and go looking for something else, some live food instead. Alright, so it looks like Grinchy is all done his lunch. Like I said, I'm going to put his bowl on the floor of his cage. If you ever want to see him fed in the mornings, he usually is fed right after the chickens are let out. They're let out around 7:30. He gets fed probably around 8 o'clock. So if you're an early bird, you can watch him get fed. After you see Grinchy, be sure to check out the bird feeders that hang right nearby his cage. They attract a lot of different species. They attract a lot of squirrels too, but it's a cool thing to check out. Afterwards, you can head on over to the garden. I think that's what we're about to do. Let's go. There you are. Look who I found. This is our corn snake, and he has been enjoying the corn out here. We're standing in a patch of cornfield. This is our Native American garden. So a corn snake is just another farm friend. This is actually a farmer's friend, if he were to find it in his corn. A snake will eat mice, and mice love to eat corn. So if you find a snake in your corn, more than likely it's there to eat the mice, which is a good thing for a farmer. So that's why it's a farmer's friend. So I am out here, like I said, in our children's garden. It's just one other place you can visit when you come to the park this week. Let's take a look around. You can follow me. We have a hopscotch area over here you can take a look at. It's fun to play with. There's a native garden up there in the corner, but you can keep coming. We have our amphibian pond right over here. Oh, and you know what? I think I see a frog sitting out right there. You can probably hear the croaking. that's a really cool spot to take a look at when you're here in the garden. Let's see what else we have. We have all these garden beds. They're maintained by Ranger Ann here. She's our garden coordinator. So please, while you're in here, do respect everyone's garden plot. Don't pick anything that you see. Just go in the different areas, the amphibian pond, the hopscotch, and you can take a look at a couple more things down this way. Alright, and come in close. And maybe while you're here you can get some ideas for your garden at home. This is just one example. This is a pizza garden. It has everything growing in it. A lot of things, at least, that you would want on a pizza. So there's peppers growing, there's tomatoes, there's some oregano back there, and some onion over here. So just some ideas. Last but not least, in the corner, we have a stack of pallets. And you may be thinking, what is that? Why would you have a stack of pallets? But that actually is an insect home. Let's get a really close look at it. So all these different layers, and this is something you could even build at your own home. This attracts bugs to come live in it. All these different layers made out of wood, and there's some straw stuffed in there. There's dishes up here to fill with water for the bugs. And just like a snake, insects and bugs are great to have and attract for gardens. A lot of them are pollinators and will help your plants. So it is a cool place to come check out. Let's see one more spot. Follow me. So the last thing you can take a look at outside the Nature Center here after you've been in the garden, why not walk on up to the beehives that we have behind the center? You can see them here behind me. So these are honeybees, which we're keeping, and hopefully there'll be a little extra honey this year that we can take from the hives. But the fence is well enough away. If you're standing right outside of it, there shouldn't be a problem about them bothering you. But take a peek. You can watch as our female worker bees go in and outside the hive. After that, our Nature Center is open. You can come inside and check out the rest of the animals. So I hope you had fun this week, and we'll see you next week. Ranger Kirk will be leading you around on a hike through history, so stay tuned.